Hey everyone, Chris Lambert from Watching the Throne here, and today we're going to be talking about Sunday service, which we talk about a lot, right? But that's because there continues to be developments. And there's been some big ones, and there's also been some more insight into what Sunday service is and might be. So without further ado, the big news you probably already heard, and you've maybe seen this video already, but it's something that we're going to pick apart just a little bit. One phrase that Kanye says specifically. All right, here we go. This. Look how excited Ant is. All right, so we have that, and this kind of goes into it. So Kanye announces that they booked another show, or they booked another gig, and it's going to be Easter Sunday at Coachella, and everybody's going wild, right? And there was just an article the other day that kind of talked about how Kanye West's Coachella gig was resurrected. And what that refers to is, you may remember that earlier in 2019, there were all these talks about Kanye going to be headlining Coachella, and then it fell through because arguments about what could happen with the staging. It seemed that Kanye wanted to do something big, right? Maybe a geodesic dome. And Coachella was like, Kanye, no, can't you just be on the stage and perform? Kanye's like, I've been there, I've done that. I have other ideas. So they parted ways amicably. But, you know, things came back around. Kanye continued to do the Sunday service, and it seems to be something that he's become more and more involved with, passionate about how it's going. And Paul Tollett, the co-founder of Coachella, actually had been reached back out to by Kanye's camp. So the first question that they asked him was if he had been aware of Sunday service, which he said he had. And then the next question, was there any way West could bring the spiritual music experience to Coachella's second weekend? We said, of course, instantly, noting the videos of the performance and his long relationship with West convinced him the idea was a great fit for Coachella. It was also a chance to deliver a one-of-a-kind music experience to the 125,000 fans who attend each weekend of the festival. So they actually said that it's going to be on the mountain, a hillside inside the Coachella campground. It has become a popular spot to watch sunsets. How sweet. It was suggested, why don't we try this in camping, since it's the morning and all the other campers are already there? Other people going to the show can come early if they want, and they'll be allowed in. So they were figuring out how to pull off this massive show on the grounds. We've got some challenges production-wise, and we've got a team on it right now. And they also had some meeting in Palm Springs about things. It goes into Tollett's history with working with Kanye, and also that a limited number of tickets will go on sale Friday for weekend 2, which is pretty cool. So that some hardcore fans can get in, noting that he's releasing tickets that have been held for music industry professionals and friends and family. There's been some sacrifices for us to make this happen. It might be hard for the industry to call us to buy tickets because I have to make sure Kanye fans are there. That's pretty awesome. Like, Coachella's a major event for people to be seen and to leverage the tickets they have available in the industry to get scoops, to, I don't know, dish out to people as gifts, to just go for their job, right, and network. To sacrifice those tickets, I guess not sacrifice, but to give them to fans instead, I think that's a nice goodwill move in the spirit of Sunday service, right? So one of the things that I found interesting in this video here is when Kanye says that we booked another gig, right? Because what does that mean, booked another gig? Is that refer to something in the past, which was the Sunday service performance at Adidas, where Kanye took everybody out to Portland and they performed here? That could be the case, and this is just the next thing that they're going, because aside from this trip out to Portland, Sunday service hasn't been anywhere else but the primary Kanye locations, right? Burbank and somewhere in the Calabasas Hills. Or does that mean that there are other gigs upcoming, right? that we haven't heard about? Does the Adidas one count as a gig, or was that Kanye just showing off to Adidas? And that could bring us to Something in the Water, which is the weekend after Coachella. Coachella, the event's happening on April 21st, right? Am I wrong on that? Is it the 14th? I don't know shit about Coachella. Okay, on April 21st, yeah. I don't know when Easter is either. Okay. But then you look at Something in the Water being the next week, and they still have pop-up church service listed as one of the things that's going to be happening. Something in the Water is a festival put on by Pharrell, and this is the first year that it's happening. So you know that he wants to go all out and make this a destination festival. Having Kanye's pop-up church service there would be pretty fantastic. But who knows? I mean, we've talked about this before, but on the poster you see trap karaoke is the next thing beside pop-up church service. So it could just be that they're having some cool things and a pop-up church service is just what it sounds like. Or it could be Sunday service showing up. We'll see soon. But the idea of it being called a church is something kind of new and something that Kim has kind of hesitated on, right? She was recently on Jimmy Kimmel with her sisters, and Kimmel asked her if it was a church. And Kim avoided the question a little bit, saying that it was a healing experience rather than a church, and that there's no praying, there's not a service, it's just music and supposed to be healing and feeling good. What's funny is that in this interview, as both Kim and Chloe are talking about it being this healing experience and there's a religious element to it, but it's very open and inviting, Courtney's like, it is Christian. And you see Kim and Chloe kind of be like, yeah, but it's very, you know, we don't want to put labels on it. Everybody's kind of welcome, and it's not very like religious in that way, right? Like, there's no preaching. And then Courtney's like, but it is Christian. And Chloe kind of looks at her like, what are you doing? And she's like, what? I'm just letting people know what it is. And you can see in this interview that Kim just had with Elle that it gets brought up again as well. Where is it? Oh, this is actually pretty good. We'll come back to that in a second. Coming up. Okay. Can we talk about church? So there's the C word again, right? Kim's publicist. No. Kim, yeah, it's fine. I'm really excited for Kanye to perform Coachella. I've never been, which is kind of wild to think that Kim, even in the days of being a socialite, where she was just going out as much as possible and trying to be seen back in that like 2000, I don't know, what was it, like 6 to 2011 timeframe, she never ended up at Coachella. Man, I know my friends are like, how? But yeah, this will be my first time ever going to Coachella, and I'm so excited to be part of it for the first time. And the church, and they added there. So she didn't use the words the church. That was something that Elle put in. It might just be that she said, and it's honestly more like a healing experience for my husband. She could have said something like church, but it's more like a healing experience for my husband. It's just music. There's no sermon. It's definitely something he believes in, Jesus, and there's a Christian vibe, but there's no preaching. It's just a very spiritual Christian experience. Can all faiths participate? Absolutely. Courtney's best friends come all the time, and they're Muslim. All my Jewish friends came on Sunday. They loved it. Everyone that comes understands it's just a really healing experience with an amazing choir and amazing messages about love to start off your week. And can anyone, she doesn't know if anybody with a Coachella wristband can come. But this is the story real fast. I guess the implications of that. It's just the fact that it's being labeled now as a healing experience, where some have wondered, is it a church? Is Kanye starting a church? What is this supposed to be? I think it's interesting that that word wasn't really being used before, but now you have Kim actively out in the press kind of PRing it and guiding what the message is behind it. So I feel like this is maybe a sign that we're going to start seeing more and more publicity around Sunday service. Not just like Instagram videos or YouTube videos, but actually like public offerings of Sunday service, and wanting to label it in a way that makes it to where anybody wants to come and feel welcome, and to kind of set the mood and attitude of it up front. I could be overzealous in that, but I feel like them taking the time to try to define it is setting up something and expectations of it as it's moving into a public space. That could just be for Coachella, right? But it could be for more. We'll see what Kanye does with it and where it goes. Yeah, I'm excited. If you have any questions about that anymore, go ahead and leave them below and I'll get to them, or maybe just respond in the comments. But this was the story. So she said, I love story, brothers and sisters. So North roped Saint into an April Fool's prank yesterday that was ridiculous. She took ketchup into my bathroom and she begged me to let her spread it on me and on the bathroom as if it was like a bad, scary movie. Then she asked me to lie down. I thought she was just playing, maybe that she was going to say I was hurt. No, she taught Saint how to fake cry. She showed him how to do it, and then she told him to scream, "Mommy's dead." Kanye ran upstairs and he was like, "Kids, this is not funny. This is not a good prank." I completely understand and I agree, but it did make me a little impressed that they planned something together and they were getting along and having fun as a team. I mean, yeah, that would be scary, especially I don't think the kids really are aware of what happened in Paris a few years ago with Kim being held hostage at gunpoint, and the fear that both her and Kanye had in that moment. I mean, to hear mommy's dead, it's never a good thing to hear, but especially after the shock of that event, you can imagine Kanye just being like, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck? But still kind of funny. Still kind of funny. If you want to watch the Kimmel interview, I'll leave a link down below. And I think that's it for this video. Just wrapping up the podcast. We recently released our episode on facts. So if you want to, which we kind of titled New Slaves Part 2. So if you want to hear how facts is a New Slaves Part 2, or the third verse of New Slaves, go to the podcast and you can hear that. And also our 2 Words episode is now available for early download if you're a Club Kanye member. And that's another way to support what we're doing. You can listen to the podcast. You can join Club Kanye for as little as $1 a month and join what is a curated discussion each and every month that Travis and I lead. This month, the topic is Runaway, the movie. The Runaway movie. So there's going to be some public elements to that, like a public AMA, and we're going to be doing a live stream watch party here on the YouTube channel. But we're also going to have some things that are Club Kanye exclusive. We also had some wallpapers made, phone backgrounds, desktop backgrounds for Club Kanye members that are Runaway themed, which are really awesome. I'm currently using it on my phone. I guess I can show it to you without it being stolen. Let me get this. Boom, boom. Look at that. So if you want one of those for your phone, you know, just sign up for $1. But we're going to have things on the Runaway movie throughout the month, including the special bonus episode where we go through the entire movie and explain that shit. So you can join Club Kanye for that. Otherwise, if you want to support us, just watch the channel, the videos here, like and subscribe. Those 3 actions all tell YouTube that this is valuable content that people are enjoying, and then they show it to more people, and that's good for us. So thank you for taking the time. If you have any requests for topics or content, leave them below. I'll hopefully get to them at some point. Until the next video, stay wavy, keep it loopy, yada, yada, yada.